let's play some Rocket League.
The fans tipping the scales in favor of Optic Gaming, at least in the fan poll, but I think on the analyst desk, they've got it right. Complexity, the clear favorite in this one, Corelli.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to even think about that. I think most people are taking stock in the previous split, right? In Winter Split, Optic had to make a deep run late in that split to even have a chance at Major, but if you remember...
They made top 4, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, but if you remember in the fall, Optic had played this Complexity squad. They beat them. They were actually winning 2-1 in series over Complexity. So Optic, they have not had issues with Complexity early on in the season. We'll see if now in the spring split, they can carry that momentum from the fall and take down Complexity in a big-time matchup.
And they have matched up recently. They were in third-party events, but they played twice in the last few weeks. Complexity besting Optic Gaming 3-1 both times. And Complexity defensively so far this event has been sturdy. So we'll see if Optic has what it takes. Right now, Optic trying to play some defense. AJ having to come off his own backboard, trying to get the pinch as well, but RazeBull possesses the ball. Bullies Magic Bear. Magic Bear trying to get a pinch. AJG doesn't get much on that flick. Reddles also have the ball popped over his head. Numbers advantage. AJG goes for the bump. It was enough to make the defender jump. Didn't land it, but still it worked.
Yeah, it was, I believe, Magic Bear. Last man back. He had to get up out of the way of that bump from AJG. Didn't connect, but it forced him to go, and the back post shot was perfect. Complexity breaking through first here in the first 55 seconds.
Good start here from Complexity. Complexity, a team that had a very deep run in the Major as well, having another scoring opportunity. AJ and Reddles both missed. Magic Bear will hit it off to the side. RazeBull trying to bring it back in. Back down to the ground now. Magic Bear tipping it. CRR will turn. And now from the wall. Quick flip, reset, ground pinch pass. No fakes. It goes to the air. Now AJG will get a piece of it. AJ putting a hand up. Optic struggling to get this ball out. Finally do so. Reddles doing a stellar job there. Got the corner boost, but couldn't get the tip. And now CRR marching downfield.
Yeah, just going back to the Major there. I mean, Complexity, that was probably the best they've looked in a long time here in North America. And you expect, a lot of people expect them to carry that here into the spring split. And on the other side, you know, Optic, if you follow them on Twitter, you're seeing a lot of them talk about how much they want and how much they need to prove to the fans, even to the haters here in RLCS from their previous split. I think they let down a lot of people. They know it. And they've been active, they've been vocal about trying to improve, trying to climb that hill of adversity here in the overall standings, and they certainly are looking closer and closer like the Optic Gaming that we would expect them to be, but they've got to take down big matchups like this to really prove it.
I think you're 100% right, Corelli. You've got to win big series like this. Although if you do lose, your tournament's not over. This is an upper bracket matchup, so both teams still have a life to lose at this point. CRR, the musty, that is going to be saved by AJ, but AJ had to dodge that bump attempt as well. Now RazeBull having to dodge a bump attempt. It pings off. CRR went back to RazeBull. RazeBull able to get that stop.
And you can see Reddles, he was in the corner of the camera there chasing the last man in Complexity. Very physical when he's off the ball. See if Optic can set something up here. Great pass over to Reddles. Shot on target. Match Bear's there, and he can't put it through. AJG with the save.
RazeBull will lob it to test AJ. AJ blasts it over towards Reddles, but AJG, nice pass to CRR. CRR going for the top corner, but what a save that was from Magic Bear. Still not out of harm's way. Reddles will be challenged by AJG. RazeBull now picking up possession, but it looks like Optic might just get out with a massive defensive stop, and that was huge.
And Magic Bear there just trying to keep possession, but you can see even with Complexity, with the attacks, the shots on target, after the shots, you're seeing physical play, bumps, demos, punching players on the Optic side out of the way, and opening up opportunity. You got to give credit to Optic. They did a great job of staying with the play. It got dicey, it got a little swirly, but they were able to get out.
Magic Bear had that save that kick-started the defensive stop altogether. Magic Bear, a player that was on the chopping block according to all the trade rumors, and now really starting to settle into this Optic team. Optic having some great success so far, trying to keep that going, but they find themselves trailing against a stingy Complexity defense. As Gibbs said, only 4 goals allowed up to this point. But Optic might get one there. Raise Bull sweeping off the line. Reddles with the 50 goes to Magic Bear. AJG gets up and over. He gets a wave dash on top of picking up that mid boost. So well played there from AJG. One bounces straight down.
Wow.
Reddles panic
Just
touch.
Reddles.
And you can see Reddles through the bump, through the physicality, working that save and getting that clear. That was a tough situation for him.
Raiseball was trying to get Reddles out of the way, but he had no momentum. And Reddles knew that if that ball just kept bouncing, he could use Raiseball there. 15 seconds left. It's still Complexity holding on to that 1-goal lead.
TRR, flip reset, going for net. It's cleared off the goal line. This is the last chance for Optic. We saw Yan score a 0-second goal earlier today. Can Optic do the same? AJ keeping the ball in play, has it into a dribble. AJG tipping it on the air dribble attempt. Magic Bear, no boost to do anything. AJ will be able to collect, and he gets the mid boost.
Here he comes.
AJ off the ceiling, delaying it, going for the air dribble, gets the tip, and that's going to be hit down to the ground. So despite the exciting ending, Complexity hold on to that 1-0 lead and score the victory, Krill.
Whew, that was close for Complexity right at the end. You don't want to give AJ the last chance with full boost into the air like that, and Complexity were able to turn it away. Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. I was thinking about it throughout this game one. It really feels like Optic and Complexity have very similar play styles, except that Complexity plays in fast forward. Is what it feels like. They just go a little bit quicker.
You're just saying that Optic is a slower version of Complexity. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it feels like, because they both do, I think, very similar things. They're looking to control a lot of the midfield. They're looking to get a lot of bumps, a lot of physical gameplay. Well, it just feels like Complexity players are just moving quicker than Optic. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, by the way.
And you know, sometimes it's better to play slow, but I agree that Complexity was aggressive, going for demos. I mean, you saw the 1 goal in this series was because AJG threatened that bump. He didn't land it, but he threatened it. And then we also saw the play from Raiseball trying to get in the way of Reddles. There was some really fantastic stops on defense from Optic, but it felt like they were just stuck playing defense that entire game.
Yep. As we'll have to see something happen here in the beginning, but we'll get into game 2. I think for Optic, I don't think they necessarily did anything for that matchup or that first game. Sure, I think they let in Complexity a little bit too far. Obviously, you know, they had to play a ton of defense for a second or two where the shots were just raining down, but Complexity kind of done that to everyone that they've played since the major. But for Optic, it's really about how lethal can your offense be. I don't really think we got a good bite come out from Optic here against Complexity. Didn't really feel like they got him in a stranglehold where they could take advantage of that Complexity defense.
You did see that little spark, though, at the end, how AJ was able to keep the ball in play. Optic threatening, had possession near the end of that game. So there was a bit of a silver lining near the end of that game for Optic, who are now calling for a pause, and the pause is granted. So we will see what is going on with that pause. But it appears that Reddles is having a little bit of a few connection issues at the moment. So we'll see if Reddles can get that sorted out. He's dropping from the server, and we might get a new one. So Corelli, just looking at that first game, though, Optic, like you said, you know, they were in that game very much, but Complexity just had that slight edge.
Oh, definitely. And again, they are very similar as far as play style. At least that's what I see. But I think for Complexity too, I really like the way they use their first and second man attacking the last man on the goal line, or the last 2 guys, however many people, the defenders on the goal lines, because it's not only so direct, but it's also they're just trying to punch people out of the way. Right? You're seeing the first shot come through, and there's a last man on the goal line. If he forces the save out of that last man, someone comes in and out of the net and then tries to bump him out of his goal every single time. It's actually incredible how well the physical game works for Complexity. Now, it's a little risky because you do push pretty far in, but Complexity are masters at this, and it's something that I think a lot of teams should employ more, because it works really well when you have a defense as strong as Optic's looking right now. If you're able to remove defenders from the equation, it's a whole lot better for you on your offense.
Oh, you're 100% right. That was on display as well in the series with Magic Bear getting that incredible stop, was able to jump up and block that shot that was going top corner. And the only goal that was scored was because of that attempted bump on Magic Bear that forced him to jump up. So that physicality making the difference for Complexity. So we'll see if they keep being that physical, if Optic can find ways to dodge the bumps and maybe kickstart a counterattack of their own. We did see those last few moments where they were able to do that. But they also have to look at AJ as well for his solo play potential in the air, make players miss, and also his ability to control the ball. You saw it in those 0-second plays where he was able to get underneath it,
right,
air dribble it, have perfect ball control. I mean, he even wave dashed into the corner, getting the mid boost, controlling the ball, taking it to the air. So AJ has that threat as well. So we'll see what Optic does. They have a lot of options.
Well, and I think, when people look at AJ coming over from FaZe, obviously you have First Killer on that team where it feels like their play style is really conflicted. And it felt like AJ kind of took a back seat to First Killer. It feels like on Optic, when you talk about the solo plays, right, those big time marquee plays where someone's scoring a crazy flip reset or double tap, you look towards AJ to be that guy for Optic. And I feel like Optic does give him that space, does give him the opportunities to have those chances on target. It just feels like so far he really had that 0-second opportunity, and that was it. Complexity have done a really good job of keeping him muted here so far.
Yeah, it was defense simulator for Optic that first game. So now looks like we have all the players back in the lobby. Hopefully Reddle's connection issues are resolved, and we'll be getting game 2 kicked off here shortly. Thank you everybody at home for your patience. We will be restarting at 4:18 on the clock in game 2, 0-0. And obviously Complexity won that first game. So that is where we will be resuming things from, Corelli.
And remember, best of 7 here. So long series ahead of us. And players or teams that lose here drop down to the lower bracket, of course, here in this wonderful spring format of double elimination. So for Optic and for Complexity, big stakes on the line as well. Again, we mentioned it in our previous cast, James, that just group of teams all in that 7 to 9 range, 7 to 9 range, where it's like NRG, Furia, Optic, Dignitas. They're all right next to it. You can even throw in Shopify in there as well.
Yeah, they're now
with 10 points.
Yeah, and with Furia looking as good as they are, it might come down to that Optic versus Furia to see who can lock in that final spot. If NA can secure that NA4 spot and send 7 teams to World, it could come down to this. It could even come down to this event, who places better. And so far, Optic has had a great run, and winning here would do so much for their journey. But Complexity is a different beast altogether. Offensively, defensively, they are a complete team. If you're Optic, though, you need to win matches like this. This is where you prove it.
Yep. Yeah, and just for the kind of overall look for Complexity, sitting at 97 points right now. That's 50 above Optic's rating as they sit 4th overall in North America right now. But we jump back into game 2. It's 0-0. We start from 4:18. We get things kicked off here on the Complexity side.
And just talking about big picture as well, Corelli, I think things going as planned for Complexity. They moved out to the NA region, made their first major, but then started to struggle.
Yeah.
And then this season, picking up CRR, things really have gone to plan for them.
Yeah, and CRR has been the big catalyst for the squad. There's a huge uptick for Complexity once CRR joined, and he really has turned into the heartbeat of Complexity defensively, but mostly offensively in the midfield. You saw that at the major as well. He had a stellar first couple days for Complexity. The reason why they were able to he was the reason why they topped their group. Just a nuisance for defenses to deal with. I don't think the major teams really thought about him too much, and he just went off at the winter major.
And it's been a good start so far for CRR in this series also. That rock in the midfield now will have to play some defense. Does pick up that back corner, but we'll have to go head-to-head with AJ. AJ into a dribble. Razebull trying to help out. CRR's bounced off the goal line. AJG moving in, but he's beat by Magic Bear. CRR and Razebull, you can see both of them wondering who's going to take that ball. AJG with the 50. CRR's up. Taps it down to Razebull, but the shot doesn't come out. Well defended by Magic Bear.
Complexity offense starting to churn, and that's a decent shot from CRR, but you see immediately the touches go out to Razebull. He gets demoed. But Complexity right back into the mix on the Optic side. Another top shelf shot too high as Magic Bear turns it away.
Yeah, more top shelf defense from Magic Bear. CRR backward pass to AJG. AJG going off the arc of the ceiling and down. Rebound to Raise Bull. And Raise Bull charges it in.
Just chipping away. And you can see the only point of popping it up over and over again is to keep it away from the defenses so they don't get dunked and they don't have to transition on the defense. Complexity keep their offense going by putting Optic in awkward situations. And you can see that on display. AJG hitting the arc like you said. It comes down perfectly for Raise Bull and Complexity back in the lead.
Oh, and now a chance. That one. Wait, just
what?
Wait, AJ just saved that ball. What did we witness? That one might make the top plays, but not in the way you'd expect.
Oh no, and then CRR gets in the way.
Post and out.
What is happening in this game? CRR just blocked that shot as well.
I have no idea. I am
wonders on both sides. I don't even know what to say. I mean, what do you say? It was wide open.
I legitimately had to look at the colors and try to reprocess what was happening.
You got to keep going if you're Optic. I mean,
and we keep going on. Optic don't get the goal. They're still looking for their first one. I thought that was going to be it, but I guess not. Still awkward here. You see Raise Bull on 0 boost. CRR on 0 boost. Ball possessed by Reddles. Brings in one challenger. AJ, lovely first touch, but it looks like he didn't get enough on it to get back to it in time. Did force all the boost out of CRR though. Now a shot back towards the net. AJG thinking about getting a redirect, but Reddles got up and over his shoulder. Now AJG doesn't make contact. Could have gone for the shot, could have gone for the backboard pass. So that chance gets away from Complexity.
Yeah, that was a big chance too because AJ kind of crept out. He front flipped into the play and he was completely beat had the shot come through. Now with 50 seconds left, Optic have to regain. Have to put another one on target here as Complexity again are able to pinch it away.
Magic Bear has a bit of space, trying to take it. CRR shutting the gap. AJ passing to the middle. Complexity trying to keep this ball in the corner, but it bounces right back towards net. AJ got dunked on, but again AJ hits the crossbar this time and goes out. The post, the crossbar. AJ having a disagreement with both.
And at least that one's a little bit more acceptable, but still, you need one to drop here. Final 10 seconds, and Optic got to play from their own side. Magic Bear over to AJ, can be the hero one more time, and a big save from Raise Bull.
And Raise Bull getting up to the challenge. And this ball tapped down to the ground by CRR, and Complexity win yet another 1-0 game, now ahead 2-0 in the series.
Disaster for Optic in game 2. One that they had Complexity at least absolutely had one goal in the bag. The second one, AJ putting off the crossbar, was also a good opportunity.
I think you know what AJ's trying to do. I would love to see, I don't know if we will see it on the replay, but AJ probably trying to pinch that off the post and in. I think we'll see it right here. Nope, that's the Raise Bull goal. So I'm not sure if we'll see it, but that was just remarkable. And here it is. It looks right here. Yeah, and it looks like Magic Bear might have been able to even hit that one in. It looks like Magic Bear might have been in position to score it.
Yeah, I'm curious if there was a communication there, James, from Magic Bear, because I think AJ was called to go for that, and he forced it and put it off the post and out. It's a painful one to see for Optic. They at least could have had the tie here, but they have to regain. Remember, long series here, best of 7. This is not match point quite yet. Optic know they can get to the finish line. They just need to cross it.
They've been close. They have been close. 1-0 victories, both games for Complexity. Optic still looking for their first goal. CRR bumped off the ball by Magic Bear. AJ weaving around the defense. CRR up the wall to Raise Bull. Raise Bull past Reddles. AJG bumping Magic Bear. Magic Bear still getting a big clear despite all that contact.
Yeah, world class there from Magic Bear, getting shoved around on his back wall and staying with the play. Huge with how physical Complexity has been. Now Reddles wants this one across the field. And again, Complexity there to eat it up and take possession.
Magic Bear behind the ball, pushing it down with no boost. And look, he was able to steal the corner either. Now this ball rolling back. Reddles, with only a single small pad, uses it there. Gets help from Magic Bear. Magic Bear shooting towards net. Raise Bull in net will hit it off to the corner. AJ first to it. And that one bouncing hard right at AJG, but space now for Reddles. Reddles stealing pass to AJ. AJ
Magic
hit
Bear?
the CRR who pre-jumped it. A weak shot from Magic Bear won't finish the job. And you saw CRR pre-jump that shot as well.
He pre-jumped the shot, but Magic
The rebound
Bear
was there.
had to have power on it. He sneezed on the shot and just could not get power behind it. And another opportunity, I mean, a half chance there for Optic at the very least. Still, just mistakes plaguing him here.
Yeah, it looked like he hit a baseball with a rope.
Yeah, that's one way to put
Didn't
it.
do much.
That's right.
AJG looking for CRR. CRR tips it back up high. AJ dunked on. And now CRR with a 50, right back to Magic Bear. AJG, 50, that pinches all the way back. Now it's a foot race. CRR, lovely first touch. Might even get a second 50, but Magic Bear hits it by. Raise Bull to CRR. CRR trying to tip it, but Reddles was there for the challenge, and this one pinches back. Raise Bull versus Magic Bear. Raise Bull will tip it right into the mid. AJ up high. CRR collects. CRR flipping back to it, got demoed, but still that touch is gonna buy some time. Reddles though, going for the demo out of the air, does get it, but still it's not enough. However, pressure building for Optic. Flip reset from AJ, and that shut down from AJG. Magic Bear shoots again, but you can see how quickly CRR is getting up in the air, blocking these shot lanes.
Very high quality chances here, one after the another here from Optic, just taking their turns at the Complexity defense. And Complexity are answering every call right now. Some great defending from Complexity. A lot of opportunity there from Optic. They still can't break through. Complexity now trying to attack.
AJG having to bail out. CRR will turn. 2/3 of a tank. Now off the ceiling. You saw him get a bit tangled up on the ceiling. Slowed down the approach to the ball. That shot going to be turned aside by Magic Bear. Raise Bull. Weak shot. No one's in net though. Well, looks like AJ still might have been able to get back. See that AJG was trying to get the touch to tip it around. Magic Bear stopped by CRR, but AJ and Optic as a whole have been keeping Complexity stuck in their back half.
They haven't allowed Complexity to generate a single shot yet. Nothing from Complexity here offensively. They've spent some time on the Optic side, but Optic doing a good job of just denying the shooting lanes. And maybe an opportunity here. AJG has to back off. Reddles is demoed. And 1 minute left on the clock. Still scoreless in this game 3. As Optic, they have been knocking on the door. 7 shots to their name. Possibly an 8th coming from Reddles here, but he's denied by Raise Bull.
AJG tips that out. Raise Bull doesn't make contact. This could be a chance. Reddles to the sidewall. Has space as well. Now off the ceiling. Will go for a bump attempt. AJ going for the double. It's denied, but Magic Bear is there to punch it through, and Optic have their first lead of the series.
And some redemption here from Magic Bear, very patiently waiting for Reddles and AJ to do their thing, and the ball pops out perfectly. Well positioned there from Magic Bear, being patient on that play, allowing it to develop all the way to fruition there. And a 1-0 lead, an earned 1-0 lead here for Optic with 30 seconds left.
Oh, yeah, Optic, we're playing like the better team this game, and Magic Bear adding a clip in these final seconds.
Feed that bear, baby. 25 seconds left, and Magic Bear says, hey, one more. Here's a flip reset under the first guy and over the second.
And that one was crazy because it looked like he went up to get a flip reset, just tipped it out ahead, then got the flip reset. That was disgusting from Magic Bear, and this Optic team has new life now.
And a comfortable lead here with 15 seconds left, but they definitely do look different after game 2. And Complexity still registering their first shot right there with 7 seconds left. That's all they have to show in this game 3.
And Optic must have heard what you said, Corelli, and taken it personally about being a little bit slower version of Complexity, because this game, they picked up the pace.
Oh, yeah.
They picked up the speed. And, I mean, it was all Optic. The only 2 shots coming at the end for Complexity from AJG. But then you just see how dominant Optic Gaming was. 12, or how many shots was that? 11 shots for them. The clips from Magic Bear. I mean, Magic Bear could have even scored more goals. There was the one that you had mentioned that he didn't get as much power on. That was a rebound opportunity.
Right.
But this time, the rebound comes out and he smashes it home.
Yep, redemption, as I said there. And I think what's important to note here is, I mean, a great defense is a good offense, right? Like, Optic didn't have to play a lot of defense because their offense was so strong, and it just completely smothered the Complexity offense. I mean, they registered 2 shots in the end. They got their last 2 shots in the final 10 seconds there for Complexity, but Optic were never disturbed on defense. Complexity had nothing to do on that final third on the Optic side. Optic were all over them.
Yeah, the Optic certainly were. It feels like they finally figured out that defensive code that Complexity had. So we'll see if Optic can continue to have that success. Complexity up 2 games so far, or up 1 game rather. 1-2 so far. Raise Bolt. Pass to CRR. CRR shot. It goes in. I didn't think it had enough power to sneak by.
And I'm wondering here, I think Magic Bear was pretty low on boost. He had about 30. No, he had 42, 36 here on the jump. Had plenty, just reacted late.
It was a little bit of a late reaction, but also great placement on the shot.
Oh, definitely. Good placement for sure. It just felt like Magic Bear, he was there, he was positioned properly, had enough boost to get up. Now he's gonna let this one go over his head, and a good call off there from Reddles. As Optic giving up their first very quickly here. Complexity right back into this series here in game 4.
Raise Bull to the backboard. Magic Bear off the ceiling. This is going to be tough. AJ pinching it over to the corner. AJG staying in the play. Ball up high. Magic Bear lets it into the middle. AJ will pop it up. CRR has AJG in support. AJG has Raise Bull in the middle. This one off the ceiling, now Raise Bull. Going airborne, trying to double tap it off the corner. Pass to CRR. CRR denied, but the rebound is there, and it's knocked in by Raise Bull.
And that's a really tough situation for Magic Bear. You're trying to read multiple touches from Raise Bull. Makes the first save, but you know everyone's going to crash the net from Complexity, and he just had no help there. For how long that play developed, no one else was getting back for Optic, and Magic Bear left on an island.
So despite being held to, 1 or 2 shots last game, Complexity have come out on a tear. An early 2-goal lead. Now Complexity have responded to that Game 3 victory that Optic was able to grab. Reynolds getting demoed now. I thought it was perfect. It turns out it's still good enough. CRR. The first goal of the game, I believe it was him putting it top shelf. This time, almost barred down and in. Just needed a little bit of extra help.
The hammer there from CRR. And he didn't have a ton of boost, but that ball just came out so perfectly. He could really wind up. And he crushed it into the net. 3-0 here for Complexity. Maybe 4 as that one comes wide of the net. 0 shots for Optic now, as they have not been able to get their offense going here.
And they have a big ditch to try to dig themselves out of. Rebound to Reddles. Reddles self-pass off the corner, shut down. This ball cleared out deep. Magic Bear to AJ. AJ right towards the backboard, but AJG there. CRR, pop-up pass to Raise Bull. Raise Bull. Now off the ceiling. It looks like he had the angle read, but Reddles able to shut that play down.
Good defense there from Optic, and Complexity, they're feeling it here in game 4. You can just see the confidence they're taking, their shots with. And with a 3-0 lead and half of a game left, you can feel quite confident if you're on the Complexity side. Try and close this one out, but Optic, if they get their offense going, they might be able to clamp down, but it feels like Complexity, they picked up their pace again, and they are not letting Optic out.
Well, this could be awkward, and it goes from bad to worst for AJ, and Optic. Raise Bull giving him the horns. slows down, takes control of the ball, and walks that one in.
Easy tap in for Complexity. Physical gameplay paying off again. You thought maybe you'd have one last man there for Optic, but with the demo, it's wide open for Raisebowl. A 4-0 scoreline, James, from Complexity. They're right back to business.
Business is booming for Complexity. More goals than they know what to do with. They might still get even more. AJG have a pinch, go hard off the backboard, so hard that it's up and over CRR. Now AJ trying to slow down, or AJ is slowed down by Raisebowl.
Oh my gosh.
AJ versus Raisebowl matchup. Looks like it's going Raisebowl's way, and this angle was so slim, but CRR has been hitting all the marks.
He hits a great shot here. He was chasing Demos, then he picks up the boost and gets right back in the rotation, hits it with the backside of his car, and gets it in for a 5-0 scoreline and a hat trick to boot.
Wow, to get it past the defender, and I mean, most of the time, you're expecting someone to hit the crossbar. You know, hit the crossbar, that's such a tough angle to just get cleanly in the net. But CRR makes it look routine, and this is a beatdown in game 4, 5-0. Complexity are taking no prisoners.
They're shutting him out again here. Complexity looking strong. Similar to game 1, even though game 1 was a much different scoreline with just a 1-0 victory, but in that game, Complexity were all over Optic. It feels like this time they're all over Optic and they're scoring 5-0 with a minute left. It just feels like Optic can't get anything going. Here comes AJG. The spawn comes through for Reynolds, and AJ is able to harass and get that ball off of AJG.
Chance to get one back here. A jump early from AJ, but the attack fizzles out. And now CRR streaking towards net. Optic trying to slow it down. Raisebowl up. Over to the corner. Optic trying to clear it out. Raisebowl getting another touch. We have a pause come out, or I believe we do, so we'll see what that pause is for. But Corelli, I think it's safe to say that this game pretty heavily in favor of Complexity.
Yeah, no amount of connection will save anyone on a 5-0 scoreline with 43 seconds left, as I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we'll get that straight away. I think it's safe to say that Complexity is going to win this this game, at least. I almost said series, but going to win this game at the very least. And it just feels like for Optic, they went to sleep. I don't know what to say. They just, from the differences between the previous game and this game are just so wide that it feels like they're a completely different team in this game.
Yeah, they might be asleep because Complexity put them in a sleeper hold. That seems like what has happened, especially in this game. And really, I think CRR's defense has been remarkable. There's been quite a few plays where he just pre-jumps. He just gets up early and guesses where he thinks the shot's coming in, and that's exactly where it goes. But then all of Complexity just playing safe Rocket League. They're so quick. And, you know, like even the play earlier where AJG just blasts it high off the arc of the ceiling, wants it to come down, trying to just get that ball into the middle of the field, get it in a dangerous spot, make it difficult for Optic to deal with. They're just breaking Optic down piece by piece.
Yeah, and they're doing it on multiple fronts, right? They're just being faster to the ball, unrelenting offense. You can see the rotation has been perfect from Complexity, but also the physical play. How many times have you seen? We just saw CR get a demo, steal away boost, turn back around, and score one across the net. You just saw a moment ago, Raisebowl on the transition, demo the last man, and tap it in for an open net. Complexity are opening up and creating their own opportunities with their physical play, and I can't overstate it enough because it's paid off so many times here against Optic.
It really has. That physical game working wonders, because it's one thing to get a demo, it's another to get a demo that leads right away to a goal. Complexity timing their demos very well, reading the game and reading Optic pretty easily, it seems like. With this game, 5-0, we will be resuming with 55 seconds left on this clock, but Optic, you know, this is when you start looking towards that next game, because you lose it, the series is done. And another reminder that this is the upper bracket, so neither team will be eliminated. Optic will go down into that lower bracket.
And I don't know, we've had a couple pauses here, James, and I don't know if you would take the time out here if you're Optic. They are afforded one. but it might be worth it just to sit and think about things for a second. You know that you could put on the hurt to Complexity, as Complexity have been doing it here in this game, but it just feels like Optic could take a second to find some time to take a breather and think about a game like this and how to prevent it going forward.
Well, they will get a breather because going through all the highlights from Complexity's goals will take a few minutes, especially after the 6 they put in this game. But maybe you're right, Corelli. You do need to reset. If you're Optic, this game has gotten out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, this one's been over. It just, you know, but that's what I'm saying, right, is for Optic, the difference is they're not just getting crushed every single game, right? The difference is they've won a game and they've done it convincingly as well. How do you find that consistency again here against Complexity? That's the real question. That's something I think the coach of the team has to think about.
This game was the anomaly. Most of the games were very close. I mean, the first 2 games that Complexity won were 1-0. They were 1-0 games where, you know, Complexity was having a majority of the possession. Fantastic defense, but Game 3 really seemed like Optic might have finally figured it out, because Game 3, Optic came out swinging. They had all the possession. I think they held Complexity to 1 or 2 shots. We saw Magic Bear hit a crazy flip reset play. But then we go into Game 4 and this happens. What do you make of this?
Well, it at least stays in line with every game being a shutout for the winner. No one's been able to score back once someone scored on the other side. So very interesting in that case. But I don't know what to make of this game, James. I'm going to be honest. I feel like Complexity were the better team, and they just executed on every single play that they were afforded. The offense certainly came back for Complexity, and we should give them their kudos because it wasn't there in the previous game, and that's why Optic were able to take advantage of their defense. But Optic, they have to play at a different level here. No timeout. We're going straight into it. Optic have a lot to think about, and they're going to have to take down this Complexity team 3 games in a row if they're going to come out on top.
And that is quite the challenge. We'll see if Optic can rise to the occasion or if they will fall down into the lower bracket. AJG over to the side. Raise Bull, a hard shot. That one might have been going top corner, but it was saved away by Reddles. Reddles, high pop, will stay on it. Towards the backboard. Raise Bull, first touch. Control now to an air dribble. Air dribbles it past Magic Bear. 50. AJ will blast it over. Now Reddles against CRR. Reddles over to AJ. AJ won't even touch the wall. Will stay on the ball. Instead, gets a bump. And perhaps that's the type of physicality Optic will need to get some space against Complexity.
Yeah, it was a good bump. Unfortunately, the ball was taken straight back into the space where the bump happened, and the player being bumped was able to recover. Reynolds getting demoed here from CRR. As this one's shaping up to be more of a chess match than the previous game. Optic, though, doing a good job of trying to hold on to the ball in the final third as well. You can see how eager Complexity are to chase after it, even from tough spots on the sidewall. Optic are allowing it. They're just letting Complexity come into them and trying to take possession from them as Reynolds gets a couple good touches. Magic Bear, ooh, that's a great touch back to Reynolds, and Raise Bull somehow read the whole play the whole time.
Now you saw the idea. Raise Bull on 0 boost. Optic, another demo up high. Now that shot, it's going to kick right back out to AJ. It's a slow roller, but it's fast enough. It looked like a double commit on the goal line leading to that one.
This one, you just had to get on target with some pace. And AJ does it perfectly. He splits the defense there as they bounce off each other. Open for AJ and a 1-0 lead for Optic.
That is as rough as it gets for Complexity. They're both going for the same ball. They pinch it so it goes straight out to AJ. And it also looked like they ran into each other and bounced off of each other.
Oh my goodness, CRR. Almost hitting that flip reset to answer. But you're right. I mean, disaster there for Complexity, obviously, but good from AJ, who have had some shooting woes here in this series, to put that one through. That wasn't the easiest shot. It needed to be right up the middle as they were covered on the sides, and he was able to get over it and put it home.
AJ, they're dribbling it to Reddles. They get the pinch, and it goes deep. Bounces way back to Magic Bear. Magic Bear can't double it. Now AJ's going to have to fight through a bump. The redirect from AJG!
Oh my goodness, and you can see he was just chasing the last man. It was AJ running from AJG. He says, fine, go in net. I'm gonna come back out to the box and flick it into your net while you watch me. What a touch from AJG.
Oh, that is so clean. AJG, I mean, and then if you're Optic, you're like, what do we do? I finally dodged the bump, but then AJG goes and takes the space in front of my net and gets a filthy redirect.
And what a way to get back into this game for Complexity, who have been feeling more and more pressure here from Optic as Magic Bear set for a spin. Razebull slow playing it out. Complexity, though, great transition from their own side as AJG finds the equalizer here, and they're finding their way out from their own side.
Booming clear, closed down by AJ, but it's right to Razebull, who finds CRR. CRR tipping it up. Gets a bump and is bumped back into the ball. Magic Bear just floating above the backboard. CRR putting a hand up at the midfield. Magic Bear down to the Complexity corner. Cleared. Double tap cleared from Razebull, but Riddle sends it back in. Complexity in a fight to clear this ball out. Now space for Razebull. Takes it up high. Flip reset. Has enough boost to go for a 50 rebound out in front of net, but no one there. Reddle's able to clear it out to Magic Bear. Magic Bear low on boost, but Reddles swooping in a massive clear out from Reddles. And you can see Reddles throwing everything he's got at Complexity.
Still Optic doing a great job here. Here comes Magic Bear, who hasn't really been involved in the 1 or 2 man position. He's really been backing up Riddles and AJ as they aggress. So AJ, the last man here, has to come up big, tough bounce. As everyone retreated from Complexity, AJ makes it look easy coming downfield. Magic Bear's there. This one comes out to Riddles. Can he get over Razebull? He can't. Follow up from AJ's there, and he'll put it home. Optic in the lead with a minute to go.
And you can see Optic going for these air dribble bump plays. It's wearing down Complexity. CRR on the backboard, but still AJ able to read the situation, keeps the shot low. And that was well done by AJ, seeing what the defense was giving him and playing around it.
Now AJ needs to come up big here.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Razebull, he mind games.
Oh my goodness, and he just had 10 boosts left. And he just lets it come out. AJ bid on it. And AJG comes through and puts it home. You could really see the mind game happening there as AJ thought Razebull was going to try and force it through, and when he didn't, that paused
that ball almost stopped moving. That was,
yeah.
After Razebull touched it, it was like he was kicking the ball off a tee. AJG, yeah, and AJG having a massive game here for Complexity. That redirect, and now that equalizer in the final minute might be enough to help Complexity put this series away. But Optic, they are not making it easy. Optic still have life left in the series. They must win this game. There's a demo from Razebull on AJ. Ball finds its way over. Razebull back to CRR. CRR, the low corner shot. The passing is supreme from Complexity.
Oh my goodness. And you can see AJ, he knew where he was going. He was going to go back post on him, and AJ couldn't stretch out to the far side, and CRR, the sniper, getting that one away from the defense, and a 1-goal lead with 10 seconds left.
Optic have one more chance at sending this to overtime. Magic Bear with control. There's a demo.
Oh, they got the other one.
And it's not gonna be enough. Complexity take the series. And that was a stunning game and a stunning ending. And Optic now find themselves in the lower bracket.
The only game where both teams scored, and a nail-biter there in the end. You can see with that last air dribble, the first 2 men in Optic were chasing the last 2 guys on Complexity, and the lane, I think, was open had they just put a little bit more oomph on the touch. But in the end, Optic falling to Complexity once again, 4-1 fashion here, and Complexity, they look scary. I mean, they're going to go up against Gen G in that upper bracket final, and they are not an easy team right now. They have been cruising ever since that major, and they've looked good here in this regional.
And what a rivalry this has been shaping up to be. Complexity and Gen G. How many times will we see this matchup? And the consistency that they're getting results this year is impressive. But in this series, it was a team effort, but CRR had some really big moments But even AJG this last game, he was the MVP of this final game. So that was just phenomenal from him.
Yeah, and we'll see how they do there in the upper bracket. Complexity taking down Optic 4-1. They move on to the upper bracket final. We got more Rocket League coming up after the break.